In April 2025, a 27-year-old Chinese university student was rescued near the summit of Mount Fuji. He'd become nauseous and disoriented. He'd lost his crampons, his gear, and his smartphone. Rescuers made it. They brought him safely off of the mountain. 4 days later, he climbed back up to look for the phone. He needed rescuing again. It may be one of the most expensive lost and found items in Japan. What is clear is that local taxpayers paid for both of the rescue operations. That story quickly went viral in Japan, and for many people, it perfectly captured a growing frustration. Mount Fuji has a people problem, not because people want to climb it, but because so many do. Officials in Shizuoka and Yamanashi prefectures, which straddle the mountain, say things are getting out of hand. They want the power to charge climbers who ignore the warnings and end up needing rescue. So in this edition of Japan Today Spotlight, we ask what's changed and will it help? Mount Fuji's official climbing season runs from July 1st to September 10th. At 3,776 meters, it is Japan's highest mountain. Outside that period, authorities strongly discourage climbing. The Chinese student's double rescue wasn't an isolated incident. In June last year, a 67-year-old American man camping near the 7th station of the Fujinomiya Trail suffered hypothermia, and he required rescue. The following day, a 59-year-old American woman became lost during her descent, and she needed assistance getting off the mountain. 3 off-season climbers, 3 avoidable rescues. It's important to note that mountain rescues are not a new problem, and they're not uniquely a foreign tourist problem. Mount Fuji rescues long predate Japan's tourism boom. The overwhelming majority of rescue cases involve Japanese citizens. Japanese climbers require rescue every single year. Some die every year. Officials say the real reason isn't nationality. It's preparation, judgment, and experience. Often climbers underestimate just how quickly conditions can change. Temperatures can plunge as they approach the summit, even during the summer. There are 4 trails that lead to the summit. The Yoshida Trail is on the Yamanashi side, the Fujinomiya, Gotemba, and Subashiri trails are on the Shizuoka side. Several recent off-season rescues have occurred on those Shizuoka routes. Compounding the problem, on-site support systems are not fully operational, not until the season begins. That means longer response times and greater risks for rescue teams. And that's where the frustration begins. In Japan, mountain rescue operations are generally funded through public money. When emergencies happen on Mount Fuji, local governments and emergency services, they shoulder the burden. But Fujinomiya Mayor Hidetada Sudo says that system needs to change. Fujinomiya lies at the foot of Mount Fuji in Shizuoka Prefecture. At a press conference in May, Sudo called for new regulations requiring reckless off-season climbers to pay for rescue operations. He said, "They are just not listening to the warnings and selfishly choosing to climb during the off-season. The cost of rescue operations is tremendous, so shouldn't the burden of paying those costs be carried by the people requiring rescues?" Sudo specifically referred to the Chinese student who needed rescuing twice in 4 days. A rescue helicopter can cost up to 500,000 yen an hour. Add emergency personnel, transportation, and medical support, and those bills rise quickly. Right now, taxpayers pick up the tab. No law has changed yet, but local officials are pushing hard for the change. Even if rescue fees never become law, Mount Fuji is already becoming a much more regulated mountain. As of the 2025 season, all 4 major trails require a 4,000 yen climbing fee. That goes to first aid stations, emergency shelters, additional safety measures, and security guards. Visitors must register online before they arrive. The Yoshida Trail remains capped at 4,000 climbers each day. Trailheads close from 2 p.m. until 3 a.m. unless climbers have confirmed mountain hut reservations. Climbers now face equipment inspections as well. No proper boots, no warm layers, no waterproof clothing, no entry. You would think that would be common sense. Yet, in previous years, some climbers showed up in sandals, t-shirts, and shorts. The goal is to reduce what's known as dangan tozan, bullet climbing. That's the practice of attempting the summit overnight without proper rest or acclimatization. It's faster, it's cheaper, and it can be dangerous. So most climbers hope to reach the summit in time to see the sunrise. Traditionally, many spend the night in a mountain hut before making the final ascent. Bullet climbers skip that step. They attempt to climb in a single push. The result can be altitude sickness, exhaustion, hypothermia, and accidents. Officials say the new restrictions are already making a difference. On the Shizuoka side of the mountain, the number of climbers requiring assistance fell by 44% in 2025. In 2024, 6 climbers died on those trails. In 2025, there were none. That's a significant improvement. On the 3 Shizuoka trails, there are no daily caps. Climbers are encouraged to use the official Fuji Navi app to make reservations and review the safety information before arriving. The new rules haven't eliminated risk. Nothing can, but they do appear to be reducing it. The rescue debate is really part of a much larger story. In recent years, Mount Fuji has been given a very unwanted nickname, Trash Mountain. Volunteer groups remove hundreds of kilograms of trash from its slopes every year. Japan's Litter-Free Mount Fuji campaign encourages climbers to carry everything back down with them. Officials increasingly view visitor management as a preservation issue, as much as a safety issue. This is really the same conversation that's happening all over Japan right now. Kyoto is struggling with over-tourism, so are parts of Nara, Kamakura, and Tokyo. But Mount Fuji may be the clearest test case, because there is only so much mountain to go around. Mount Fuji has been climbed for more than 1,000 years. Pilgrims, poets, tourists, and apparently people searching for lost smartphones. Japan wants 60 million international visitors a year by 2030. At the same time, more Japanese are also returning to domestic travel than they did during the pandemic years. 3 questions remain. Will lawmakers give local governments the power to charge reckless climbers for rescue costs? Will the new restrictions continue reducing accidents and deaths? And can Japan protect Mount Fuji while continuing to welcome record numbers of visitors? The pressure on places like Fuji is only going to grow, because the challenge isn't getting people to come. The challenge is managing that success. Full details and sources are in the show notes below. And from the Japan Today newsroom here in Tokyo, I'm Jeff Richards. See me next time.